Good evening, ladies and all our viewers, including our global viewers. We're excited to have you here and we applaud your support. Welcome to India Association of North Texas show on Women's Day. Today, as the day dawned and I was reading through a few articles, one article caught my eye, and that was an article by Melinda Gates, where she was recognizing 5 women, and one among them was Geeta Gopinath. She is the first woman, the first Indian woman to hold the position of a chief economist in the International Monetary Fund. She's a woman of grit, and she's determined to make a difference. Having said that, today's focus is going to be on our own turf. We are going to recognize the empowered women of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Viewers, this month marks the 1 year of the pandemic in the US. And on behalf of India Association of North Texas and IANT Women's Forum, our deepest sympathies to all those who have suffered a personal loss. Our thoughts and prayers have been and always will be with you. For most of us, also, it has been a time to take a step back and reflect. We basically need to reflect on our priorities. What really matters to us? What is our story for the future? Who matters? On that note, let us recall the strength we possess as women, celebrate who we are, and hear how the guests for this evening have influenced the world they touched along the way. Teaming with me today are Nawaz Jha, the chairperson, and Ami Shah, co-chairperson of the Women's Forum. And now I turn it over to Nawaz, our moderator and the host for the evening.
Thank you, Chandrika. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In the 20th century, India, a land where most of us originate from, has seen some dynamic women personalities like Sarojini Naidu, a celebrated poet and an Indian activist, Indira Gandhi, a former 5th Prime Minister of India, and Shakuntala Devi, a world-renowned mathematician. In 1994, 2 women put India on the map of the world by winning the Miss World and the Miss Universe crown. Their witty answers showed that there was much more under their beautiful exterior. It's been more than a quarter century today, and an Indian woman has made her mark, not just climbing Mount Everest and the corporate ladder, but also venturing into space. Some have made history by being the highest ranking female official in US history. And 2020 saw more and more women of Indian origin taking public office. Every day we hear of the Kamala Harrises and the Kalpana Chawlas of the world marching along and achieving great heights professionally. Some are in business, some are in the corporate world, and some have made their mark in art and culture, bringing our rich heritage to our youth in different forms. You ask, who are these Indian women? They are your mother, your grandmother, your daughter, and sister. She's every one of us who is on an endless pursuit of self-empowerment and fulfillment. The voices we are seeking may have never been heard before, but their stories need to be told. The road to success is not always an easy, straightforward one. And many have to overcome huge challenges to follow their dreams. They were told to dream only what is achievable. They were told to extend themselves in a limited area. But these women say, let's dream big. Let's extend infinitely and break the glass ceiling. Let's put our hands together and welcome our 3 guests tonight who have made their mark in different fields. I'm sure you're eager to hear from them as I am. Okay. I'm going to briefly introduce each one of them and let them talk about themselves shortly. My first guest tonight, Rashmi Jain, is a recipient of the 2020 Dallas Business Journal Minority Business Leader Award. Rashmi Jain, CIO of Carrington International Corporation, joined Carrington International in 1999 and has served as Chief Information Officer since April 2019. Rashmi is a single parent and a proud mother of 2 boys. My next guest is an awardee of the 2020 Nari Saman Award from Nau Gujarati Dasa Sarathiya Samaj. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you might know her. It is none other than Vandita Parekh, founder of Nritya Shakti Folk Dance Academy. Vandita has been serving the DFW community for the last 15 to 20 years and is a proud mother of 3 girls. And last but not the least, this person needs no introduction. She's a constant companion to many of us when driving to and from work. Yes, I'm talking about Shabnam Modgil, CEO of Radio Caravan. Shabnam is also the trustee emeritus of IANT, Indian Association of North Texas, and has been a past president and chair of the board of trustees of the same. Rashmi, please go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then Vandita, and then Shabnam ji, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Nawaz. What an honor to be here today. Happy International Women's Day to everyone out there, and really honored to be participating in this discussion with such distinguished guests. Like Nawaz already said, I'm CIO at Carrington International. I've been with the company for 23 years now. In addition to that, I'm very proud to be a part of the Indian community here in North Texas as well, and very happy to be here today. Vandita? I think you're on mute, Vandita. You're on mute.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you, Nawaz. And thank you, everybody, for having me here today. Thank you, IANT. Truly feel humbled. I am Vandita Parekh, and I'm the director and founder of Nritya Shakti Dance Academy. I live here in Plano with my husband, Raj Parekh, and my 3 beautiful daughters, Priyanka, Kushi, and Tara. Truly honored and very happy to be here today.
Awesome, Shabnam ji.
Pleasure and an honor to be sharing this Zoom stage here with all of you. I think each of us dons various hats at different panels or events that we are at. So I would like to introduce myself this evening as just a huge, huge supporter of the India Association of North Texas. It's been a part of my whole life here in Dallas. So we'll forget about everything else today and just focus on my association with the IANT, which is extremely dear to me.
Awesome, wonderful. So Rashmi, my first question, I want to talk to you about becoming a CIO. It's a major achievement and a role of huge responsibility. There are endless hours at work. Can you tell us a little bit about what motivated you to go in this direction? Was it a dream being realized? Can you share some snippets of your journey with us?
Absolutely. So I started Carrington not at the CIO position. I started 23 years ago as entry-level IT operations when I first moved with my family, my parents and my sister, to Texas. And I was looking for a job, get my foot in the door. And since then, as you said, it's been countless hours, long hours, a lot of effort. Part of it is right place, right time. A lot of it is effort and grit, continuing education, and blessings from my parents, my family, support structure, all the wonderful friends we have in the area. So I wanted to achieve something in life, but I feel like success has a different definition for everybody. And I kind of let life take its own course with me. And without a specific end goal in mind, I just focused on working hard. And I enjoy what I do. And when you find something that you are good at and you also enjoy and you like the company that you're working at, you automatically move forward. So that's sort of what happened with me with my journey.
Absolutely. You have to enjoy whatever you do. Then only will you move forward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Vandita, how about you? Today you've built a reputation in the Indian community teaching folk dance, not just to kids, but to adults as well, correct? I know you have had extensive training in various classical Indian dances, but what motivated you to share this knowledge?
This was my mother's dream. I was introduced to dance at the age of 5. It was my mom's dream, but eventually it became my calling. I was trained in Bharatanatyam and introduced to folk dances at the age of 14. But I loved what folk culture, folk learning, and I was amazed at the vastness of, there was so much to learn when it came to our Indian culture, the traditions, the customs, that I loved being a student first. So I traveled with extensively, learned these dances. I'm still a student. And when I came to the US, I realized that just like my kids, many did not have the exposure that we were blessed with when we were growing. We tend to keep our children too protected here. And what we used to enjoy happening in our neighborhood, the processions, the celebrations, and then irrespective of which state you came from, you knew what your neighbors were, what kind of traditions they had, what of festivals they enjoyed, and everything that used to happen in our surroundings there, the students and the kids were deprived of here. So I thought, why not bring this like a curriculum? Why not introduce them to the traditions and culture in a theory and dance format? And thanks to a wonderful dance family, my students, my dance parents, my family at home, with their support, I was able to build a curriculum that worked with everybody, with their school and their college curriculums. And now I teach dance, I teach folk dance as a subject. And then I introduced that in university levels as well, and called the subject India Studies, where people enjoy learning, not just from our country, people from any part of the world wanted to learn about India, culture, these traditions and customs, all this incorporated together, and I call it the India States and India Studies. And I'm still learning, and my journey is still on. I have miles to go.
Before you sleep.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's wonderful to know that, you're teaching at the university level. That's really great.
Thank you.
So Shabnamji, you have made a mark in a field where I don't see a lot of women. Tell us what motivated you to be where you are. Your audience over the years listens very closely to your words. Knowing the influence you have on them, it must have been quite an effort to transition into perfection. Can you tell us a little bit about this journey? Shabnamji?
Sorry. I would like to mention, Nawaz, thank you very much. I would like to mention that Vandita was one of the, I think, at the India Association office, she walked in one afternoon like a breath of fresh air when she had just moved to Dallas. And so her first introduction here to the community was through the India Association. And I've known her ever since. Can't remember what year that was, Vandita.
2003, Shabnamji. 2003.
Okay, all right. So it's been that many years, ladies and gentlemen. She's doing an amazing job. I don't think we have a lot of dance schools and dance teachers here in our community, but I don't think anyone focusing so hard on folk music and folk culture that she does. So yeah, congratulations and thank you for doing an awesome job with all the kids. Some of them have just grown up with her in here. And yes, it is all learning. We are all growing up. We are all still learning. I think it's a process. We are never perfect, Nawaz. But yeah, with whatever talent or whatever forum or whatever opportunities I think each one of us has, we try and do the best that we possibly can. For example, today was International Women's Day, so it gave me an opportunity to talk about things that are dear to your heart, but you don't get a chance to talk about them. So International Women's Day today was a bit of the focus today on the show that I do every morning from 7 to 10 every morning. The drive time did focus a lot on us and women in general. And I think that is something that I get a chance to do with every topic, every occasion, every festival, whatever message that we can create. And I am also very proud to be hosting India Association's Radio Bharati, which I think I started hosting way back in 1989, 90, somewhere there. So yeah, it's over 30 years. I thoroughly, enjoy doing it. It's part of my whole week. Saturday morning, nobody talks to me, nobody calls me. They know I want to answer the phone because I'm focused on Radio Bharati because, India Association is in my blood. So as I mentioned, so it's been a lot many years that we have been at it. And I tell everyone I'm most comfortable when I'm behind the microphone. Just give me the microphone and I want to speak to the world at large, tell them my thoughts, tell them other stories, share with them experiences, and whatever other words I can. So it's not always, I don't think it's always a voice. A voice is always God-given, but it's what you say with that voice that makes all the difference. And so if I can share any words every morning, every day through the airwaves, I think I'm blessed to do that. And that has been, the journey here for the last maybe over 30 years. And of course, gives you the opportunity to not just be a business, but a community business, always have been a community business. And so gives an opportunity to work with various organizations. And India Association is an umbrella organization of many other organizations. They may be regional, they may be religious, they may be any kinds that we can focus our thoughts towards, depending on whatever is going on. So huge opportunity, I think, to do that and share with everyone.
You've got a student with you right now. I'm going to learn everything you have for behind the mic training.
You ladies are doing such an amazing job that I am so happy and so proud to see all of you here. It's a
pleasure. Thank you
for that applause, Salman and Sailesh. Thank you, all you gentlemen. I didn't want to take all the focus to the ladies today, but it is International Women's Day, so what can we do? We'll give you all an International Men's Day sometime too.
That's in November, he found out.
Yes. I heard that.
Right. So, jumping into my question to y'all, when we start something new, we tend to have a lot of people around us give us those free opinions as to why we should or should not do something. Did any of you face something like that? And how did you overcome that? I'm going to start with Vandita. And we'll move to Shabnamji and then Rashmi. So, Vandita, can you lead on this question, please?
I think all of us should have somebody or should have people pulling us back. Because only when they pull back, we retort back by pushing ourselves more further up. I mean, that's what I feel, Because unless there is any criticism or unless there is anything negative, how would the importance of a positiveness be felt by any of us, right? And yes, I was constantly, remarked upon or told that why am I teaching folk? I should be teaching classical or Bollywood because that's what everybody understands in the US. And that's exactly why I want to teach in the US, what everybody does not understand. And I was very adamant that blessed with so much heritage from back home with our folk culture, why should I not, share it with everybody. And I could see that in my children because I'm constantly telling them stories every festival. Oh, we used to do this back home in India. Oh, we used to do this back home. Mama used to do this. Dadi used to do this. And they would like, all these are stories. So I'm like, no, unless I teach them that we have been blessed with one of the best heritage, best cultures in the world is, I feel, with all my research and all that, and I think Indian culture there is so much that us kids can, that we can share with our children and they can move it forward. So that one thing kept me going. And another factor that kept me going is I didn't want to be a dance school that just teaches dance and choreography, in the form of instruction. I wanted my dance to be also, serving a purpose, right? Something like a gift, something for the benefit of everyone around. So I wanted to start something different, and that's what gave birth to Nritya Seva, dance as service. So I incorporated it in my instruction in such a way that I told the students that if they wanted to graduate, they would have to take up projects or charities and form a relationship with them and raise funds or do whatever they need, but it has to be via dance. So this got me really motivated. Every year I would come in touch with so many charities and services, and they would inspire me. They would, working with them gratified me so much. And despite everything, kept going. Bade kadam badaaye ja. That's what I would tell myself. And
that's great.
Like they say, har boond se banta hai, right? Little drops of water.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nicely said, Vandita. Shabnam ji, how about you?
May I share a story?
Absolutely. Neki or Puch Puch? Go ahead.
There was this well that had a lot of frogs in it. And these frogs were all trying to climb up the wall of the well to get out of it. And there was a lot of moss and it was slippery and they just couldn't do it. So every time any of the frogs would attempt, they'd go up a certain distance and they'd fall back and then go up again and fall back. But there was this one frog that just kept going. And there was nothing. And all the audience are saying, you can't do it. It's too high, this wall of the well. You're not going to be able to make it. You just can't do it. And so they're wondering why is the audience putting us down? Why are they telling us we can't climb up when we're making an attempt here? And so that would make them feel rejected, dejected, and just fall down again and try attempt again. Some would attempt, some wouldn't. But there was this one frog. It just kept going. It just kept going upwards and finally reached right to the top. And when it reached to the top, this race that he won, they realized that he could not hear. He could not hear the audience who was putting them down, putting all these frogs down. He was the only one who just could not hear. He was deaf. So what happened is that all these frogs were getting influenced by the people they were listening to. And every time they would hear these negative comments and things like that, they would get they would feel not discouraged and just fall back into the water of the well. So this one just climbed and he was like an ordinary frog like all the others. But the only reason that he did it is because he could not hear all these negative comments around. So Nawaz, I think we all need to become like that and say, I can't hear all this. Just whatever is your aim, whatever you're doing, to the best of your knowledge, your experience, and your available circumstances, just keep doing it. Don't worry about the people around you who may try to put you down. We just have to go on and on. And since it's International Women's Day today, I'll share, and the gentlemen who are tuned in will know this, that I have at many times been an only woman, whether it's been on the board of the India Association or the board of trustees of the India Association or many other organizations, and this has been happening since college or for many years, and I never get I may be outnumbered. There'll be all men around. but you're never to get outspoken. So you have to make sure that your thoughts and whatever it is that you believe in is always there in the forefront, brought forward. And believe me, you can't. And the men are always have always been respectful, been helpful, and they have actually been an encouragement, I would say, to take ourselves forward. So just never be outspoken.
Thank you so much, Shabnam ji. Rashmi, how about you?
So I'm already so inspired by all of you wonderful ladies on here listening to your stories. So I think this is what I get my energy from. I feel like, ever since growing up, the odds are kind of stacked against you culturally a little bit, not to say anything bad or good about a specific culture, but it's like, roti to goli banani hai types, kitni padhai kar loge. But I was very blessed to have parents and immediate family that was very supportive of my dreams and the fact that I wanted to do something in life. And then moving to the United States right after I graduated opened a whole lot of other opportunities that I necessarily would not have had back in India when I was growing up. So that added a lot of firepower behind my ambition. And I learned early on that your self-worth is determined by yourself. You set that bar, you set that standard, and you're only in competition with yourself. That's the only way to succeed and move forward. You draw positive energies from everybody around you, and when you look at, amazing women like Vandita and Shabnam ji, and you guys, both of you, Chandrika and Nawaz, you feel inspired, and you cherish and enjoy that other women and men, other people are successful with you and you get inspired with them, but your competition is only with you to do better than what you are doing yourself. And then I know everybody says kids add a lot of responsibility when they come into my life, but my boys are 10 and 5, and they added more firepower for me for some reason, to set this example for them to know that women can do the same thing men can do, that that they look up and they grow to respect women in their lives and know that there's really not a distinction or such a gender bias anymore. And if they want to lead happy, successful life, the only way they can do it is by treating their partners as equal as well. So that's where my positivity comes from.
Well said. My goodness, I have got so many notes. I'm going to be sitting down for hours after this to write them down. Okay, my favorite question. I spoke about the road to success not being an easy one for anyone, but sometimes it applies to women a lot more than men, because by default, we are supposed to hold the fort at home while building our careers, right? Did you have some of those challenges, and how did you overcome those? It is especially true if you have long and different hours than most people. Shabnam ji, can you take the lead on this question, please?
I think I already answered a part of it, Nawaz, on the men, women part of it, but I think.
No, but how did you take care of it? Like you have 3 kids. I'm sure you had to take care of them also, and then you have a career. How did you handle both of those things?
Have you seen? I'm going to use have you seen Durga Ma? The idol that we have of Durga Ma, so many hands. We can juggle everything. I'll admit and let you know what I don't like to do out of that. But, we can handle it. We can handle the home. We can handle the kids. Make sure, depending on what age they were, my kids are grown up now. And so depending on what age they were, we went through different, schools and activities and things like that. And then we had our jobs. We had our lots of huge social life. You can see it in our faces. We are all social butterflies here. And then we all also have, lots of organizations that I've been involved with. There's lots of family, extended family. There's friends. There's plenty that comes. Sometimes I think we try and think we have to excel in everything. We don't have to excel as long as we can handle everything. I'll tell you one thing I don't do, and that gave me a lot of time. I don't cook. I don't like to cook. Simple. Everybody says, maine ye biryani banai and maine ye kiya and this kiya. No, okay, make it, give it to me. I'll taste it too. And I'm a huge critic of food. I can criticize food. I can write a book on food. I can, I know so much about various cuisines and all that, but I will not cook. So I'll get somebody to cook for me and my kids. I will not cook because it's not the cooking part. It's the going to the grocery store. It's the unloading the car, bringing everything, putting it in the freezer, the fridge, the pantry, and then kato, and then do all that. And the actual cooking I enjoy, the actual making of the dish. Then the serving, and then the washing, and then the cleaning. Can't do it. Can't do it. It has to be ready-made food for me. So, as you know, I took a shortcut there and got food. And then, it keeps the economy of the city going. Go get your food from the restaurants. It keeps all the restaurants going. It keeps all the small businesses going. The auntie that made me the chapatis and the sabzis and all that. So it was a shortcut I took. So somewhere down the line, you have to make sure that you cut something or the other. And I think the other thing that I cut down on was sleep. I sleep like 3 hours and I'm fine. I'm up again, I'm working. And so somewhere down the line, as I grow old, it's probably going to affect me. I have people telling me, oh, you can't be doing this. You have to sleep 7 hours. I said, what a waste of time is that? I can do so much. And y'all are saying sleep for 7 hours? No, 3 hours are enough for me. Okay, chalo, maximum 4. That's done. And that's it. You can't sleep more than that. I have to squeeze in somehow 28 hours in a day and 8 days in the week. Somewhere where I think we should go ahead and cut down. It's okay to do it, whichever way or whichever is more convenient to you. Rest of it, I think women are just empowered to manage many, many things. And you know that.
Yes, I feel that, your time is better utilized in something important. So if you feel cooking is not something that is important to you, you can get rid of it. And
I proudly say I do not cook.
Rashmi, let's go on to you.
And I have to agree with Shabnamji, the cooking thing, especially during COVID, the cooking fans have gone like totally out there now with all the photos and Instagram images. I do feel embarrassed as well myself because I do cook, but not like the way some people are cooking these days. But as far as your question is concerned about the road to success is not easy. You're right about that. And I think the trick is sort of playing off of what Shabnamji said is we are very hard on ourselves. And the fact that there's some image out there that we have to be perfectionist at everything. I am going to get up today and I'm going to be the best mom, the best wife, the best daughter, the best sister, the best worker. And that's just not possible. There is an unrealistic goal that I'm not sure how we have actually put upon ourselves as little as expectations of others. We get up ourselves feeling that way quite a many days. And it's good to realize that it's good to have your priorities right at a broader level. So, you've got your children are top priority or your work is depending on every person is different. But the baseline or the micro level agenda is set on a day-to-day basis. So today, it's going to be okay if I miss 3 meetings at work because I have to be at my preschooler's Valentine's party, because that's what's important today. And tomorrow, I'm going to miss being the donut mom at school because I will be attending an all-day session with clients. So it's a juggling game, and you have to realize that some days you just got to know which balls can drop that day. And you just cannot hold yourself and go to bed at night thinking, I sucked at everything today. No, we all do our best. We all put our best foot forward. As Shabnamji said, women are multitaskers by nature. So we tend to take on more and we tend to do a lot of things together well. But we also are equally hard on ourselves. So I feel like we need to practice grace with ourselves that we practice with others in our family and life. And also never hesitate to ask for help. That's what I'm very blessed to have such amazing parents. My sister is here locally, who's like the best sister, and my brother-in-law, my beautiful nieces in the whole world. And I'm not hesitant to pick up the phone and say, I'm groaning today. And similarly with my friends that are more like our adopted family when we're not back home anymore, right? Don't hesitate to pick up that phone. All you have to do in return is be there in a similar fashion for that friend. That's all it takes. Because someday they're going to be having a bad day. So I think we all need to be more open and accepting of help and be graceful towards ourselves. And then the path just carves itself out.
Awesome. Wonderful. Vandita, how about you?
Just like Shabnam ji said, right? जब ब्रह्मा विष्णु और महेश से भी नहीं हुआ महिषासुर को डिफीट करना, राइट? वो हरा नहीं पाए. Who did they create? किनको बुलाया? शक्ति को, right? So just because, I mean, we are blessed with it. I think women can multitask. Yes, I do have a compulsive, a very bad compulsive, bad habit that I need to get everything done to the T. And yes, but one thing is there that I'm very unforgiving. I try my very best. I stretch myself to do everything. But yes, if it's not possible, it's not possible. And I'm so blessed with a wonderful husband and my 3 girls who chip in whenever I need them. And yes, extended family with my friends and all. And they all know that my working hours are a little like Shabnam ji's. So Teen Kantha is good for me as well, because I have my research to do. I have my dance teaching to do. I have my grant rights to write. So, और खाना बनाना तो है ही. And of course, everything else. घर में कोई हो ना हो, घर तो साफ चाहिए ही. So you see, I have all this चाहिए ही, too many things. So my family tries to cope up with it. But जब नहीं होता, they back off. So that's a very good support they give me. But yeah, and I try my best. And I'm so, I was just looking for the words when this question popped up, and Rashmi just voiced those feelings that I had.
Yes.
But, but nobody's there to question us. I guess we put this on to us that we are answerable. To whom, right? I think, so I've adopted that. I'm slightly more forgiving. Ki hua to hua, nahi hua to nahi hua. But yes, definitely, we are capable of lot more than we realize. And when push comes to shove, or shove comes to push, we are easily able to adapt to it. I just feel that
awesome.
We have to analyze it कि अपने में है, और recognize भी कर लें. We have to accept कि हमसे हो ही सकता है. There is no way we can do it.
Very nice. Very good answer. Before the break, I'm going to ask you one more question, all 3 of you. And I'm going to start. Okay, so let me ask the question first. I know the 3 of you have done very well career-wise, but I'm interested to know, did anything change in you for better or worse as a person? Can you share at least one thing that changed in you along the way? Rashmi, you go first.
Oh my goodness, there's been so much growing and it's still happening, right? I feel like every day I learn so much from everyone around me. And one thing that was a very hard to learn lesson for me was being in the moment. Whether it's working, whether it's cooking, whether it's picking kids from school and they're in the backseat talking about their day. When we are multitasking and we have so much going on, I never had the habit of being able to focus on that one moment and enjoy that moment for what it was, because I would always be thinking of what do I have to do next and what's happening in the back of my mind. Let's plan this other thing first. So that's a lesson that I have learned and grown along the way is to make a conscious effort for those little moments, to be in those moments. And then when I reflect back, often at the end of the day or a few days later, I realize little tidbits of information that I've gotten from the kids that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise, or just a deep breath that I took that made me more centered on a call. So it's just being present in that moment without letting your mind wander. That's the one growing lesson that I have learned along the way. And other than that, it's just life is growth, right? So we learn so much every day.
So Vandita, can you tell us something like, earlier maybe you were not able to do something and now like it's completely changed for you?
Yes, definitely. See, the journey is always like this, right? Wife and the mom, and then the career, setting the school. Then now I also have extended children. Like I have my students, so my family is grown. So and their graduation, teaching them. So my responsibility grew, right? And I was in the cycle, being a mom, being a dance mom, being everything. And then I lost my mom, and that shattered my world. Because, like I said, being a dancer or to teach me dance was my mom's dream. She couldn't do it, so she taught me, and I'm living my dream now. So when I lost my mom, the me factor died in me. And I said, I'm going to change this me into a we. And that's when the Dance for Service came to being. And I think I like that. I'm very glad that I turned the page, and now where my dance school is heading. I like that Nritya Seva has changed me as a person, humbled me more. Every day is more gratifying when I feel I give more than I take. And I want to continue this. I want to be able to give more and more and reduce this me factor, and want to make sure that everybody understands that as well. And then it will be just get this positiveness moving and growing. Yeah,
absolutely wonderful. Shabnam ji, tell us something about before you started, how you were, and now. What is the big, huge difference you see in yourself as a person?
Sorry to hear about your mom, Vandita. My condolences. I don't know if I want to say COVID during this last year, but more recently, I would say in the last couple of years. Earlier in the show, I had mentioned to you all that I love speaking to the world at large. And I do that. I do that every morning. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy sharing stories, getting messages out, and some inspiration, some positivity, whatever we possibly can. But recently, I have realized that I would also like to be more one-to-one instead of just addressing groups or talking to a whole lot of people. And I've done that earlier also, but I think more so now, where I would like to connect with one person and get to know the details and the life of that person. I guess I'd never gave so much time to every single individual I met. And I would like to do that now. I know Vandita, but I really know her. I've known her for many years, but I understand where she's coming from. I know Salman, but do I really know him? I call him a friend, but am I really a friend to him? So that one-to-one connection, I think, is something that I am tending towards a little bit more now than I would earlier. And of course, it was always too much involvement in so many things, too much going on, not enough hours in the day, and not being able to handle it. I know Gautami so well that, and all the amazing work that she's done. I've more read about it. I've met her often. When you meet somebody, say, hi, how are you? Congratulations, great to see you. Do I really know her? So that I think is something I am inspiring to do more now, more one-to-one connection and more detailed, in-depth knowing of the people I meet and I love.
That's awesome. That was wonderful. Wonderfully said too. Sometimes we are so involved in everything. We call ourselves people's friends, but everything is so shallow. We want to be more deep with that. I get it. I guess. Thank you so much, all three of you. We'll take a short break right now. Stay tuned. Our listeners and our viewers, please stay tuned. We have a surprise for you during this break, so don't go away. Back to you, Chandrika. Chandrika.
Thank you, Nawaz. I shall remain invisible. I'm just joking. It is so hard to sit and listen and not say something. I'm just loving this session that's been going on. But we have to take a little break and thank our sponsors, who have been with us this whole year, last year, and the wonderful support that they've given us has given us the ability to host these shows, has given us the confidence to put ourselves with you. And we hope that many more viewers who are viewing would also look into partnering with us and giving the kind of support that we receive from them. Now, I want to take this moment to introduce a leader who has been, for over a decade, been very involved with the community service, and that is none other than our president, Shailesh Shah. Shailesh is now going to say a few words, and he is going to be talking about the surprise that Nawaz was referring to.
Well, happy Women's Day to all the ladies this evening. It is an honor to be hosting this event in recognition of the successful guests from Dallas-Fort Worth on our show tonight. When you look back to history, women have always contributed in a large way to our community. Right from my days of looking up my mother, my spouse being my best friend, my daughter being my teacher on changing the times. I'm happy that IANT's Women's Forum has given me the opportunity to thank all the women's viewers today and all those supporting them. You're always on the move. You're always giving the constantly making the world a better place for the generations to come. We know you are strong, and we want to partner with you as you are architects of the society. To serve the community, age has never been the limit. It is desire to make the difference that drives you. Today, we have among us a woman who chose to drive you from her initial years as a consultant to child protective service investigator. She was one of the few to be selected to train CPS investigators in the Department of Child Protective Services. Today, as a founder, Colorly Safe, she specializes in child welfare issues. She provides a voice for underrepresented families, especially immigrants going through the CPS system. She is also engaged in raising awareness about the child welfare laws of Texas, child abuse and neglect, and building prevention and intervention. I'm proud to introduce Gautami Vemula as IANT's 2021 Women's of the Year. In recognition of India Association of North Texas, will be donating 1,500 meals to North Texas Food Bank. In addition, we would like to encourage viewers to show support and appreciation to Gautami. We welcome you to join as celebrating Gautami for her services rendered to the community by contributing to NTFB March Charitable Drive. Please visit iant.org for further details. Gautami, we are so proud of you and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this introduction, Shailesh ji. Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you to IANT's Women's Forum for this humbling honor. On this extraordinary day and month, I want to say as long as we are alive, each of us will face some form of adversity. Honestly, it's inevitable. My experiences as a first-generation Indian American woman has taught me so many lessons, some good and some bad. And if it was bad, it was that strength in me that helped me overcome those challenges. We may or may not realize this, but each of us possesses that inner strength. And it's that inner strength which is the path to resiliency. So I want you to remember this. I want you to remember to own your identity and who you are. Own your experiences because you have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Own your truth, because if you believe in something, make it known. Use your voice and make some of that good noise that everyone talks about. Be your authentic self and don't ever, ever be afraid to be judged. Just be, and write your own story, because your story matters most. I want to end with a little poem that I wrote not too long ago, hoping it will inspire you. Don't be a footnote, write your own story. Breaking the shackles of expectations, I soar free, I fly high. I may win, face defeat, or just get by, but I own my story. I define my destiny, my dreams, my being. I walk to my own beat and sing to my own song. Never mind the conversations around me, about me. Words of hate may become the wind beneath my wings. I'm not an afterthought, never a footnote. I am the headline, the punchline. I sweat my days and breathe in the nights. I laugh, I tear up, I tread through, I get tired, but never to give up and never to give in. I live my adventure. I write my own story. Happy International Women's Day and month to all the phenomenal women here and around the globe who continue to fight for equal rights. And thank you to all the men who support and amplify gender equality. Now go continue to inspire, empower, and impact. Time to go make some history. Thank you and namaste.
Gautami, that was amazing. That's so kind of you. And I'm sure there are young girls listening and hope that they kind of pick a leaf of your book. And I owe it to you, so I have to say this. Gautami Vemmalu Kejo, you are great. And having said that, now I'm going to introduce to another person. As the Women's Forum, we have had the fortune of, we're fortunate to have worked with our stakeholders that are trustees. One, you're already listening, Shabnam Modgil, and the other is Salman Farshori. Salman, I turn over the mic to you. Again, thank you both for your support in guiding us through.
Well, happy International Women's Day to all the listeners, to everyone here. And Gautami, congratulations, a very well-deserved recognition. You make us proud. And it was such an inspiring session. And, just listening to Vandita, Rashmi, Shabnamji, and Nawaz and Chandrika, thank you so much for this great event. I, as an ally, as a feminist, as a proud feminist, I just, it's always good to see our community, especially India Association, which I've been involved with for so long, coming up with these great initiatives. My message would be to I see a lot of men watching this. So as an ally, my message to the men is to, join the movement. If you believe in equality, you're a feminist. That's the straight message. That if you believe that men and women are equal, you're a feminist, and your job. Nobody's expecting you to make women stronger. They're already strong. It's you joining the movement to change the way the world perceives their strength. And we are going through challenging times, and people are calling it she-cession instead of a recession, because more women are losing jobs during COVID and during all the craziness that's happening around the globe. I think over 5 million jobs have been lost, and they were mostly women. So, become an ally, stand up for women, be their voice when they're not in the room. And, because I'm a big believer that in two things. One is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And we need to make sure that women are at the table. And we need to make sure that, as we continue to be part of this movement, we become their voice. And continue to support organizations like the ones we've been talking about today. And just, raise a generation. It's not just women's responsibility, but men's too, to make sure we raise a generation that see the humanity and see the equality in men and women. So just proud to be a part of this wonderful group, and would love to hear more from Rashmi, Vandita, and Gautami and Shabnamji and Nawaz and Chandrika more, because these are the kind of real conversations the world needs. It's the need of the hour. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you, Salman. Look forward for many more events working with you and Shabnamji, and of course my team, Nawaz and Ami. Now,
So, listening to Salman and Shaileshji and Gautami, oh my goodness, so much more information. I really like that menu thing, Salman. I'm going to use that next time. But each of you has been involved with community and charity events. So can you please highlight some of the causes that are dear to you and why? I'll start with Shabnamji since I can see you right now. So let me start with you.
One of the organizations that I work very closely with Nawaz and the entire India Association does too is a social organization, and that is Chetna. And that is to help the victims of domestic violence. I work closely with them, and that is something that I've done for the last many years here in the community. We used to have a social services forum of the India Association that we used to work towards with helping women who were going through difficult times. And then as the community grew larger, we started partnering with Chetna. And so we could do that in a more organized way, collaborating with various other organizations, homes that we could take them to, and lawyers that we could have pro bono work with them, etc. So it's a social issue which I hope we didn't have to deal with, but unfortunately it does exist in our community. And so it's an organization very dear to us as India Association and personally to me. So I like to help out a lot with that. Earlier it was more, helping one single person who's going through problems. But as the community grew larger, these problems have multiplied and become more complex. So we need a whole organization to help out with them. So that's if you want me to highlight one, I would highlight that issue, that social issue in our community, and how closely I don't want to use the word enjoy, but gives me fulfillment to help, particularly those who come out of it and then finally do very well. So it is an interesting and very, very difficult path that some of these ladies have had to take. So that organization is definitely, I would say, one of the dearest to me.
Yes, I've heard of them, and I also know two ladies who work very closely with them too, Bhavika and Sushma. They tell me a lot about the organization, so I'm really, really proud of that organization.
Yeah,
that they're helping so many women.
Sushma is part of the India Association also now, and yes, she has worked in other organizations. And Bhavika is on. I take her on the radio every week, so we like to get the word out that we have help out there. So even if we can get to one person every time we're on the air talking about this issue, I think it's worth it. And then once a month, Bhavika does a longer program in general mental health in the South Asian community. And, that is a much longer program where we are not just giving out information about how to contact Chetna and how to let women who are in trouble know that help is available, but also deal with mental health problems that are there existing as undercurrents within our
society,
our community.
Yeah.
And Gautami, congratulations. Well-deserved award.
Right. Very well deserved. So Rashmi, I'll move on to you. Which cause is very dear to you and why?
So we all try to do our part when it comes to making an impact and difference. And a couple of organizations that I'm involved in are more related towards women and minorities, and as well as veterans in technology. So I am a part of the advisory board for Empower, which is an organization that provides technical training to veterans, because you'd be surprised once they leave the military or the defense forces, there really are no other skills that they're given to move forward in life. And a lot of our veterans that are putting their life on the line end up on the streets. So this organization provides them with technical training and introduces them back and has sponsors like Citibank and other companies that would then take them in as interns and employees. I also don't lose an opportunity if I can find a spot at Career Day at my son's school to talk to little girls about careers in STEM. So that they move forward in technology. We need more women in technology, as well as warning kids and informing kids about cybersecurity and the dangers of the internet. I think that's another cause that I'm finishing my master's in cybersecurity, and that's a cause that's really dear to my heart is protecting our children with as much as they're exposed to on the internet and just even being on YouTube Kids. So just a few examples of things I do to do my part. And like Shabnamji said, through forums like this, if you can touch and help one person, then it makes it so worthwhile. We're just on our little humble journey, and if that inspires someone, then that's even more honorable.
Awesome. That's a lot that you guys do. Amazing. Vandita, how about you?
Do I have to choose only one?
You can choose 2 or 3. Just go ahead.
Honestly, any charity, any service that is associated with children and women, I immediately get connected. There are many, actually, not just 1 or 2. I mean, UDAN, that works for girls who have been trafficked in Calcutta, Dallas area Rape Crisis Center, the Alzheimer's. We just recently did a show just last Saturday, for Vanavasi Kalyana. That's a charity for tribal kids back home. Samvedana in Ahmedabad for slum kids for hygiene and for their everyday requirements. So I'm associated with many temples. I believe in dance being brought back to the temples because that's where dance started from. Not that these auditorium settings, I have anything against it, but I feel when you dance in the presence of God and with your family members and in this beautiful setting and the most pious setting like a temple, I think it gives the dancer, the performer, the ultimate, that they say, the upliftment, the moksha, right? So this is one more thing that I have started, which is called Dance Back to the Temples, where I insist that dancers bring back that tradition back to, that's where it started from. So many that I'm associated with. IANT, whenever they want me, wherever my dance could help me, I'm always raising my hand, Mimi. So anywhere my dance could bring this small, tiny gift of smile, happiness, I'm immediately associated with it.
Dance is the ultimate devotion to God. I feel like that. So I totally agree with you on that. Okay. So, people say that a woman needs to be educated to be successful. I agree. But I also think there should be some other quality or an X factor she should have to reach the top. I want to hear from each of you that one thing you think she should possess. I'll start with Rashmi and then move to Vandita and then Shabnamji.
Oh my goodness. I think confidence in yourself. That is the one thing that will take you many places that even education can't. Even to begin an education, it requires a certain level of confidence in yourself and believing in yourself. So I think that's the quality that I strongly believe in. I think knowing that all the power you need resides within you to achieve your goals. And it doesn't have to be that you look at a mountain and you say, well, I'm going to start and climb Mount Everest today. Baby steps. So having the confidence to take that first step, sometimes that's all it takes to get that journey started. So that's my belief.
Wonderful. Vandita, how about you?
Challenge. I think we are bestowed with so many capabilities. And education gives us that weapon, right, to guard ourselves. Education is like an armor for us, right? I feel we need to challenge ourselves because we are capable of a lot more, but many times we fall in our comfort zones that, oh, I'm an engineer, this is what I can do, this is what I will do. Oh, but did you even try if you could do that? You might fit in. So I feel we need to constantly challenge ourselves, be it in anything. And everyday small challenges also. Can I accomplish this, and this for today? Yes, you can. But if you just, plan it accordingly. So I feel challenged to be ready for that.
Awesome. Wonderful. Shabnamji, how about you?
I think, Nawaz, it's the fire within that motivates a woman to achieve whatever it is. You can't make them do it. I have ladies who I know who have said, you're involved with so many organizations, I would like to help out. They really don't. They just want to, but they really don't. So in the course of all these years here in the Dallas community, I've worked with 200 different organizations in some form or the other, continue working with a lot of them at present also. In various, they could be philanthropic organizations, they could be religious-based organizations, regional, language, cultural, social, any kind of organizations from the South Asian community, the 200 that I've worked with. So I've always had people say, let me know if you need any help. Let me know if I can do anything. No, it has to be a fire within you where you have to come and say, I'm going to do it. If it is over the weekend, I'm still going to do it. If it's late at night, I'm still going to do it. If I have to get up early in the morning and drive X number of miles, I'm still going to do it. So it's even most of the people that we have worked with, they really come from volunteers. We feel we've become good judges of people in seeing that, is this person really going to be a good worker, a good helper, a good team person here to get them involved. And I think most of them will come from the volunteers that we see. Do they really have the passion to work? Now, this is a selfless job. You're not going to get paid for it. You're not going to get the kudos for it. You're not going to get any medals for it. It's just something that has to come from within you to do it. And once we recognize that, that's when those people move towards that process, towards that. And it may be long, it may be many. It's a journey. There is no destination sometimes. It's just a journey that you have to put yourself in, a road you have to take, a path that you have to adopt. And go on with it. But if go on with it. But if it doesn't come from within you, you can't. I don't think you can teach it to people. I've had kids who've come and said, "I want to help out with the Lions Club," but they've come because they wanted to do it. They want to help in some way or the other. But if your parent is sending you, or someone is pushing you, or you think it looks nice to do, then it doesn't last long. That's what I believe.
I totally agree with you. And so I'm going to take a little detour from my questions, and I'm going to ask one thing to all three of you. It is one thing to face challenges on your way to success, but along the way, I'm sure that you might have had your share of setbacks and failures as well. Challenges are one thing, but you might have setbacks and failures. You've spent so many hours at work, left your family, done all these things that you were supposed to do, and you still had failure that day. How do you guys handle them? Shabnamji, why don't you go ahead, since I see you here?
I don't think we should ever let rejection bother us. No matter what project it is you've taken up or any endeavor that you've attempted on, and if it gets rejected, something that you proposed or you helped out somebody else in doing, and if it doesn't work out, I would say it's a learning process. Use it as another stepping stone to learn more, to actually get encouragement with the people you got to know during this attempt. And maybe from it, there is always a reason why it didn't work out. I do believe in that. There's always a reason why this didn't work out. Maybe something better was to happen. Maybe it was not the right time for it to happen, but it germinated somewhere in somebody's mind. That seed was sown, and it will someday definitely fruit So I really think we need to use it as a learning process for the next step.
Awesome. I agree with you on that. I agree with you. Rashmi, how about you?
So I guess if you're afraid of failure, you're really not going anywhere. That's what life is, right? It's a mixed bag. Not all your decisions are spot on. Not everything you do is going to lead to success. But if that holds you back from doing anything, then how do you determine where you're going to be successful? So I guess if I do something and I am a failure at it, and I treat it like Shabnami said as a learning experience. But the one question I do ask myself is the why of it. Is it just because it wasn't the right time? Because if you've ever heard that some of the best blessings are your unanswered prayers, because you just don't know what the bigger path for you out there is, and sometimes we don't know what the big picture is. Or was it because of lack of effort on my part? Was there something that I could have done differently, which then fuels me further to put in the necessary effort and do the required steps that I missed doing the first time around, the next time around? And then sometimes you just say the serenity prayer and you ask God to, kind of give you the wisdom to change the things that you can, and then give you the courage to sustain the things that you can change. And you just go with the flow. But you really have to be okay with failing and taking 2 steps backwards sometimes to move 1 step forward. Otherwise, like I said, you're pretty stationary in life.
Very well said. Very well said. So, Vandita, how about you?
See, in dance, there is nothing like a failure, right? It's a freedom of expression. So, yes, it could be a setback. But with God's grace, I've been surrounded with such wonderful people. My husband, my girls they motivate me, and they're filled with so much of positivity. My dance students, they're such talented children, such talented kids. Mm-hmm. They motivate me to work harder. That's okay. This didn't turn out. I'm not going to fail them again. They've made me work harder. The families, their parents, they've reposed so much faith in me. That makes me work harder. Just another hurdle. Then my friends always nudging me, you could do it, you could do it. And so when I'm surrounded with such wonderful people, my family, and I'm also a very religious and spiritual person. So I think failure nahi tha. It's just a setback. And I just have to work a little more harder tomorrow. And, and these wonderful people make me do so.
Wow, wonderful. Nice to be inspired by your own students, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Very good.
Yes, blessed.
Very blessed. Very blessed. And Vandita, you said something that makes me ask one question. I had a very powerful woman who I always looked up for inspiration, and that was my mother. Do you have any woman in your life that inspired you? Who inspired you and how?
My mom, definitely. See, you cannot give me questions where I have to give pages and pages of answers. You have to tell me the words. You have to give me the limitation of words. That it's only a 50-word answer that I can give you. It doesn't go on and on.
This is not a question of words. This is a question of emotion. Yeah. So, speak what you need to speak. That's it.
Thank you for it. Yes, it's my mom. She was in those days. She used to work in the bank, and she's given years and years of service. She was born with just one eye, but managed to be a successful woman in her workplace. She started the Mahila Samaj in Chennai for the Gujarati Mahila Samaj, and used to teach them how to save money and how to open bank accounts. So she used to teach them to how to sign their signature in English. So small things. She started the Sakhi Mandal in Chennai. She's from Cochin, so she constantly doing something, Every day she would get down from the bus and say, I found this kid. This kid was being beaten by her father. So which means we need to do something for them. And the very next day, I'm having 5-6 children sitting outside my house, and my mom's teaching them something. So she used to pick up things and pick up causes that always kept her motivated. And yes, that time I used to think mom never has time for me. She has always this going on, that going on. And, the complaints that I hear from my girls today, I used to be voicing them. But today, when I look back, I think that, and she always used to tell me one thing, that, one life, God's given you one life. You know how much more you have to do? How much more you've got to do? That I used to say, I did this. Yes, you did this. You have a lot more to do. And I used to always be annoyed that, okay, I did this. Come on. And she was like, yes, and you still have a lot more to do. So, yeah, even today, every time I achieve something, that those words are that I have a lot more to do. And, so she is, it's been 12 years she left me, but even today, in the very small hurdles or many small speed breakers in my path, and I'm literally calling out to her, did you see that? Did you hear that? And, I'm sure she must be like this, sitting on the top. But yeah, it's
I'm sure. I'm sure. Vandita, something very interesting. Parents can say 100 things to their kids and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. But you know what? The kids see what the parent does. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. I always feel like my child is watching me do the thing. Mm-hmm. They're not watching me say the thing because, kids are very, very, very intelligent. They know exactly what they need to do. They need to follow what you are doing. And that's what is important. And that's what you're doing right now because you've seen your mom do those things, right?
Hopefully, I do half of what she did. Hopefully.
Right. Shabnamji, how about you?
Did your question say just women?
Well, if it's a man, let's hear it.
I'm just asking. I can't pinpoint, Nawaz. I really can't pinpoint any one person. I think it's a lot of inspiration from all directions through the years. That helps. And I get very inspired by words. So I would like to say words are my inspiration. They're words that are written by people or said by well-known personalities. I read a lot. And to me, words are very inspirational. Whether they're man or women written, doesn't make a difference. But they take you to that level of encouragement that you're looking for sometimes. I read a lot of poetry. I play a lot of music also on the radio, but I like music, but it's lyrics that I love. So whether it's in the form of poetry or just words that are said are very inspirational for me, no matter who has said them. And so I think that I would use words from personalities as my inspiration.
Awesome. Very nice. That's very unique. And that's wonderful to hear that. Very fresh. All right, Rashmi, how about you? Any woman that has inspired you?
Well, I'm going to go with Vandita and say that I've been very blessed. My mom, she even at this age now, she's very enterprising and entrepreneurial herself and doesn't sit still for 1 second. And so she is still the newer version of, why did you get 97 out of 100? Why wasn't it 100 out of 100? And it's one of those things that's so irritating now that you're old enough and you think you know better. But your mom will always be your mom, and her confidence in me just propels me forward. And then my sister is another amazing. She's my sounding board. She's my voice of reason. She's the one I pick up the phone and call if I ever am thinking about things. And I'm just blessed, like Shabnamji said. It doesn't stop there. My dad has always been a constant source of the silent strength and support. And no matter how radical my decisions in life were, my family has always stood by me. And then I have this extended family now coming over here with all my friends. And these are amazing, amazing women that I know that do so much every day. And I look at them, and some of them sacrifice their careers to stay home with kids. Some of them have achieved great heights in their careers. They're so inspiring, and we lift each other up. That's what your tribe is, right? You don't hold each other back. You lift each other up, and you're there to provide that shoulder to cry on. So I'm always inspired, and I look to other women to get that inspiration. So I'm very blessed that way. I really am.
Yes, you do need that support, somebody who can lift you up when you're down. And I'm very glad that you have that with your friends.
Absolutely.
Very glad.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, there are a lot of women listening to us right now, some who are just stepping into the workforce, some who want to try something new. What is the legacy you want to leave for these listeners? What would your advice be to the future generation of these women, Rashmi? I'll go with you.
So again, very blessed on the work front as well. I've been with the same company for 23 years now for a reason. It's a very female-oriented company, which is very different from other companies out there. I took it for granted for so long. I just felt that's the way it was. And then you grow and you step out and you realize that the rest of the world is not like that. And you work with these amazingly inspiring women and men who actually are comfortable working with these amazing, inspiring women that are their equal and treating them as such. So my message to everybody is it's find something you love. It's going back to my very first answer. Find something you love to do that creates that fire that Shabnamji said, that like Vandita said, something that, you want to just follow through in your life, and then find a place that you feel at home with. Your work is a second home. And unless you feel at home in that second skin of yours, a home away from home, you're not going to be able to achieve the heights you want to achieve. So the work environment, as well as finding something you love to do, is so important. And then the progress and the money and everything else, the titles, they just kind of follow through. And different people are driven by different things in life, right? So you define what success is for you. It's sending your child on that school bus every morning and walking away and having a coffee and saying, I've got a whole house to clean up. Is that a feeling of success for you? Then follow through on that. Don't let anybody else define your success. Do what you feel you want to do so that you don't have any regrets in life when you're 85, 90 years old, hopefully by God's grace, and you look back on your life and you say, you know what? That was a life well lived.
Awesome. Yes, very well said. Very well said. Yes. What about you, Shabnamji? What do you think? What is your legacy to the listeners today?
I think I'm totally agreeing with what Rashmi mentioned, but I think it is very important to look at it like a sheet of snow, since we just had so much snow here. It's like a sheet of snow. So I'd like those youngsters to know, first of all, tread carefully, because your marks are going to show on that snow. But choose definitely what you're comfortable with. All that old Indian parents just want to make you only a doctor and nothing else. We have to let go of that. There's so much opportunity now, particularly in this country where we are living, so much opportunity for the youngsters. They need to choose what they have a passion for. They have to enjoy it. They have to love their work. So it doesn't remain work anymore then, if you love it. And so it's not a job you're doing. It's something that is a part of your life. So do something that you thoroughly enjoy, that you're passionate about. And then after that, don't have to worry. Just work very hard. Hard work is very important to me. Real hard work. I don't like lazy people, and I don't think people can be. Vandita, stop laughing. I'm a taskmaster. So if somebody is just dilly-dallying and not doing their work, it bothers me. So work hard, work diligently, and you will achieve success. But make sure that you're not talked into a career or a profession or a project that you want to do for the sake of doing it, or someone told you how to do it. Just go from whatever comes from inside you. It's always a voice that tells you to do something. Just do that.
I agree with you. If you love what you do, you'll automatically put the hard work in it. If you don't, you'll never do it.
And we women today on International Women's Day, we have 50% of the population, and we are responsible for the other 50% that exist.
I agree.
Look at that importance that we have. So for the men, salute to the men who work so well with women. So we have to teach. It's very important to teach our boys. Very important to teach boys. It's not the girls that have to learn. It's the boys who have to learn to work with this.
Yeah, I always tell this to my son. I don't want your wife telling me that your mom did not teach you the right things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I agree on that. Okay,
What a
how
twist
about
from
you?
the old time days, Nawaz, when the women had to hear "Tumhari maa ne tumhe kuch nahi sikhaya hai," and now you're making sure your son doesn't have to.
I'm telling you, I believe in that. I keep telling my husband that your mom taught you all the right things. So I want to be that mom who teaches her son the right things,
And I'm okay to be a mean mom. I'm not getting no medals from anywhere. I'm a mean mom. That's fine. But I'm going to make sure that you, my dear son, respect women, and let's have this next generation of boys. They need the most training. Learn to respect every woman that they come across.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Particularly, very especially on International Women's Day today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're 100% right. Vandita, how about you? This is fun.
I would say, yeah, dream big, dream big. Dream bigger than your big. Whatever is your big, you dream bigger than that. Be absolutely devoted to your path. Just don't have belief. Just don't believe in yourself. Be absolutely devoted. That this is what I want to do. This is what I can do. You will definitely do it. And then, of course, hard work. There is no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. There is no magic wand that's going to, no God fair. We're not going to have any fairy godmother coming and, fulfilling those 3 wishes. We are the fairy godmothers. We have the magic wand in our hand, and that is hard work. And I promise you, the harder you work, you definitely will succeed. Definitely, So if we keep having our ambitions higher, and if we keep being absolutely devoted, because no one can understand that dream how much you can or what it means to you. It's completely yours. It's just yours. Yes, my husband supports me in my ambitions, my dreams. My kids stand by me, my dad, my family, my friends. But what that dream means to me, I have to be devoted to that dream. No second thoughts about it. And work hard towards it. And that's it. Unadulterated hard work.
So dream big, love what you do, and work really hard towards it.
Yes.
That's the legacy that these ladies are giving us. Right? Awesome. Okay, so what is a talk show without a rapid fire question, ladies? Are you ready? Okay. You can answer in a single word or a short sentence. Okay? So just one rapid fire question. Say it fast, whatever comes to your mind. Okay?
Okay.
Keeping in mind the theme for this year's International Women's Day, what is the one thing that comes to your mind when I say choose to challenge? Vandita, go.
Myself.
Awesome.
I choose to challenge myself.
All right. Rashmi, go.
Your own beliefs. Challenge your own beliefs and your preset ideas.
Awesome. Shabnam ji, up.
Every day, challenge is, the journey's not over.
Awesome. Great. This is so much fun. I'm telling you, I learned so much. I'm sure that everybody else learned a whole lot from y'all. I want to thank you on behalf of IANT, all you 3 ladies, for taking the time out and inspiring women who have joined not just from the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth area, but everywhere else as well. And to the ladies, I will leave you with a thought. If you don't try, you will never know whether you will succeed or fail. I hope our speakers have motivated you to move ahead in your careers and make a difference. And if you are a gentleman watching our show, applaud your mothers and grandmothers for their achievements. Encourage your daughters and sisters to dream big and fly high. And most importantly, walk shoulder to shoulder with your wife and help her achieve her dreams and goals. They say that behind every successful man, there is a woman. But behind every successful woman, there's a community which grows stronger with the addition of a successful woman. Let's make our community stronger by adding more Shabnams, Vanditas, and Rashmis. And now I hand you to my co-chair, Ami Shah. Ami?
Thank you, Nawaz. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wow, what an amazing panel we had today. What an amazing discussion. I want to thank you all ladies again, Shabnam, Vandita, and Rashmi. You've provided such amazing thoughts and tips for us based on all of your experiences and just been so honest and real with us. So we really appreciate that from you. So thank you again for being here. So in continuing to show our appreciation, we would like to say a couple of thank yous before we close out our event. So first of all, we'd like to thank all the sponsors and partners in supporting the Women's Forum. We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors, Heritage Land Bank, Discount Power, and New York Life Insurance Company. We'd like to thank our gold sponsors, Paul and Geeta Pandian. We'd like to thank our silver sponsors, Sunil Maini, CPA, PC, and Encore Enterprises Incorporated. And finally, we would like to thank our supporting sponsors, Ahluwalia Law Office, PC, and SkyPass Travel. Thank you to all the regional associations and past sponsors and partners for sharing this event with your communities. Once again, we'd like to congratulate Gautami on a well-deserved award and recognition. Congratulations, Gautami, and keep up the great work you're doing in the community. And thanks again to our phenomenal panelists for sharing your experiences and wisdom. And also thank you to Nawaz Jah for hosting this panel.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. And before you go, we'd like to just remind everyone to join us again on Saturday, March 20th for a webinar on vaccination for COVID-19. It's free, and we'll have 3 medical professionals sharing useful information around the available vaccinations. Thank you again all for joining us today and supporting the India Association of North Texas Women's Forum. Happy International Women's Day to you all, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Nawaz. Thanks, Chandra.